Hello there everyone, and welcome to my staking tips video. This is mainly going to be a video for advice for staking pures, but it still has a lot of effect if you still want to watch it, if you want to do staking on your main or whatever. But anyway, first of all, I'd quickly like to say, if the ratings of this video have been disabled, it's because I have a dislike bot on my arse and some fat nerd sitting there disliking all of my videos. But anyway, on with the video. First of all, what I'd like to speak about is making a pure. Obviously, if you're going to go stake, if you think, right, I think staking is good, or if you like staking or whatever, you've done it on your main and you want to do it, like you want to go full time into it or something like that, like you want to make some money out of it, so you want to get into it. What I would highly recommend is to make a staker. Exactly like my account, from level 3 or whatever combat, I've gone all the way up and just modified it for staking. Because basically, if you're going to do staking, why don't you make an account for staking? Let's explain a theory. If any of you know of a magician called Darren Brown, he's an illusionist and all this kind of stuff. He's such a cool guy, and he comes up with some very good theories, right? One of his theories very much links to why staking on a main is not good. Darren Brown had a theory that he could flip a coin 10 times, right, and make it land on heads 10 times in a row. Even the coin was normal, whatever, and he'd done it right in front of someone on TV, and they was amazed and shocked and think, like, how can you do that? But they didn't realise that he's done that same thing to hundreds of people, right? And he said, right, I can do this, I can flip this coin 10 times and make it land on heads 10 times. And it's failed and failed and failed. He's done it to someone, heads, and tails. It's failed. Right, that clip is then gone. They'll throw that away. So, somewhere along the line, he's going to get 10 heads in a row, because it's going to happen. It's not impossible for it to land heads 10 times in a row without... land on heads 10 times in a row. It's not impossible, as he'd say, it's just highly improbable. It's not likely to happen, but it can still happen, right? Now, with staking, okay, you're very much unlikely to win. That's very highly unlikely. It can happen. It's not impossible. You can win loads and not lose a lot. Like you could win 20 matches out of 25 or something, and against people you have a 50-50 chance. It can happen, but it's just very unlikely, right? Now, if you're listening to what I'm saying right now and think, yeah, but my friend, he's done this, he's a maxed person and he's making all this money and he's the richest person, for example, Win All Day, right? He had a hell of a lot of money at one point. Right, the reason why I think he made a lot of money was down to this theory once again. If you put 1,000 stakers, right, in a jewel arena, you give them some money or whatever, and you tell them to stake 10 people. Now, a lot of people are going to have like 5 wins, 5 loss ratio or something. But that one person out of that 1,000 or something, or even more, will have a 10 win ratio, and they will win all 10 of their games. Because it's a 50-50 chance, yeah it is, but within a big amount of people, there is going to be that one person that does win a hell of a lot. Now, it only takes that one person to win a lot and make videos. So let's say that one person in that 1,000 people wins a shitload of money and they've just made, I don't know, 50 billion. If they make a video of all their winnings and all their stakings, do you then think that they're some sick, amazing, awesome staker? No, they're not. They just got lucky with the system, and they're just one of that very minute few who has won a lot more than they have lost. Just because the system has to do that. It simply has to. Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance, but you're going to get a win, loss. Win, lose, win, and it's very random. But somewhere along the line, it's going to go lose, win, lose, win, lose, and sometime along the line, you might get 20 losers in a row. How many of you had that? I bet you've had that loads. And people like stakers probably watching this video now, you probably had maybe 10, 15 losers in a row. It's a 50-50 chance. What's the chances of you getting 15 wins in a row? It can happen, and it only takes a few people for that to happen to, and make videos on YouTube, for you to think, oh, I'm going to go stake on my main now, because look, how comes he's making all this money on his main, he's maxed, and surely I can do that. Let me go to Dueling Arena and stake. You go stake on your main, and you'll fucking lose it all, because you're standing such a low chance of winning. Now, yeah, they might have been one of that small few, and you might be one of them small few that wins way more than they lose. But you're taking such a risk there. You're taking the chance of getting cleaned of your whole bank and everything, and I would not do that. They've just been lucky. You simply accept that, and you just go and make a stake in pure at the end of the day. Yes, it'll be hard, it'll be long, it'll be boring, you'll be sitting at Soul Wars probably endlessly, but at the end of the day, if it stands you with a 60% chance of winning and a 40% chance of losing to general people around your level, then go for it. If you got a higher chance, then hell yeah, go for it. Now, if you make a 6-staker, which you think is amazing, and you actually were, like for example me, people around my level that are stakers, I'm about 75% win ratio and 25% loss. I win 3 out of 4 matches that I fight, and because I've moulded my staker around what I think is the best stats for my level. It's not great. I would like to mould my stats a little bit more and have, like, rather than 97 health, 99 health, and rather than 81 attack, take one off that, have 80 attack, 70 strength, and 90 defense. That would be my desired stats, but obviously you can't go back on that. I did fuck up a little bit, but at the end of the day, I've still got very high health. That's why I'm still progressing and doing well. If you were wondering, I did transfer. I've runecraft for a little bit on Badman Ryan and managed to make up 5 mil, which was pretty much nearly all of my bank. And I transferred it to my staker, and I haven't been staking a lot on it. In total, I've been staking about 8 hours. 8 hours total staking without 5 mil because I've been busy with college and whatever. But I've managed to make 75 mil now. So that 5 mil I've now turned into 75 mil. But anyway, that's enough about my staker. That's pretty much Darren's Brown theory, but kind of incorporated into RuneScape. You really shouldn't stake on a max account because you're risking a lot. You really are. And you might have your friend, which is like, oh yeah, I'm up 4 bill or whatever. Speak to him next week. He could be cleaned. It's as simple as that. It's very, very simple. You can get cleaned on the stake in pure, but for one, it's highly unlikely because why are you going to fight someone that's actually better than you and stake pretty much all of your bank? And 2, not many people stake a lot at this level, to be honest, so the risk of you getting cleaned if you have a lot of money at this level is very unlikely. But anyway, that's his methods. I hope you've taken that into account, because that you really have to think logically about staking it. It's very simple, it really is. It's just accepting a boxing fight, boxing, bang, you win or lose. It's very simple, but you have to think logically about it. You really do. But anyway, moving on to something else. Staking methods. The amount you stake, how much you stake when you win or lose or whatever. There's a thing called doubling. A lot of you know about this. It is risky. It really is, because if you lose a lot of times in a row, you are cleaned. But if you just win once within a few times of staking, you've then earned your money back from all of what you've just lost. Like all them 5 losses, it only takes 1 win to make up for all them 5 losses. Now this method is very, very simple. I stake someone 1 mil. I lose, I then stake them 2 mil. If I then win that match, I've then won back my 1 mil and 1 mil on top of that. Okay? So now if I stake 1 mil, right, lose that. Stake 2 mil, lose that. Now I'm down 3 mil. I now have to double that 2 mil, which I then started with. No, double that 2 mil into 4 mil. Now I'm going to stake 4 mil. If I win that, I've then won back the 3 mil, which I've just lost, and an extra 1 mil on top. So I'm still profiting. I'm still in the money, you get it. So this can go on for quite a while, and it only takes a few times. See, You think doubling from 1 mil? Oh, it's not a lot really. Right, if you lose, if you got 1 mil, right, and you lose, you've then got to double up to 2 mil, then to 4 mil, then to 8 mil, then 16 mil, then 32 mil, then 64 mil, and so you see how bigger it gets. Only one. If you lose that 64 mil, you've got to double up that 64 mil, and you've got to go for like 128 mils worth. If you lose that, like 256 mil, you got to stake. It will jump up in chunks if you have a big lose streak. It can hit you hard. That's why you have to have a lot of money to fall back on. People who do the methods of staking 1 mils constantly, like you stake 1 mil, you lose. You go ahead and stake another 1 mil. There's no point in that. There really is no point, because you stake 1 mil, you lose it. Fuck, I'm down 1 mil. Go up and stake him again. Yes, I've just won 1 mil. Oh no, I haven't. I'm back at square one. What's the point in that? Now, the thing with doubling is it really does help doing it on a staking pure. This is why I enhance the fact that you should make a staking pure, because if you're banking on a 50-50 chance of winning and losing on a main, and you're doing the doubling technique, you could be in the shit, because I have lost 12 times in a row before on Badman Ryan, and it hurts. It really does, and you've got to draw a line to the point where, do I go all in? Do I risk all of my money to double up, or do I walk away and knowing that half of my bank has just got cut? There is a point you have to risk it, but doing it on a staking pure really does enhance your win-loss ratio, because you think me, if I win 3 out of the 4 matches that I play, if I do this doubling technique, hell yeah, I'm going to come across a fight within 1 in 4 fights or whatever. If I lose to someone who's like the same, who's a staker of my level, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to beat him, because I'm confident within my stats. It only takes me 1 win. Like, I could lose 6 times in a row. If I win that 7th fight of doubling up, all of them 6 fights don't mean nothing. If I win that 7th one, all of his profits, which he's just won off me, has gone, and it's gone all back to me, and that's it. We start back at square one. If he comes up to you after that and wants to stake the same amount, like a big amount, you say, no, I'm going back to square one, stake 1 mil again. You don't carry on with big stakes. If you win that 1 stake, you reset your whole counter kind of thing, and you go back to square one, and you stick to your doubling technique. Do not keep just staking random big amounts, like, I got 100 mil, let's stake 40 mil here, let's stake, 25 mil here. Don't do that, really don't, because you will get hit one time. Now, I won't touch on this one a lot, but I'll just quickly move on to attack style switching. I don't do this. I don't really see any harm in it, to be honest, because it doesn't change a lot, and I can't see it doing any harm. So if you want to do attack style switching, for example, when you're attacking, you use the attack style. When someone's hitting you, you use the defense style of your attack. Some people do the kicking, but it is less accurate, but it does hit more. So you never really know. Attack and defense styles hit exactly the same. Whether they do anything, no one knows, to be honest. You can ask someone and say, someone might say to you, yeah, if you have the defense style on, then you'll get hit less, or if you have the attack style on, you'll hit more. There's not any hard proof for that, I think, to be honest. You can't fully test that, because RuneScape is, if any of you have heard of RNG, RuneScape is a random number generator. You can have the best armors in the game, the best armor, the best weapon, the best pots and prayers and whatever, and stat bonuses against someone with nothing. They've lowered their defense to 0, they've got no armor. You could spec them with an AGS and you can still hit a 0, because it's random number generator. You can have stuff to boost your chances of hitting, but you're never guaranteed to hit, to be honest. So at the end of the day, there's no guaranteed way of saying that yes, attack style switching helps. I've never done it, because you're just relying on the system that defense style should make me get hit less and attack style should make me hit more. You're relying on something which isn't there. Like, you can do it. I'm not saying don't do it, to be honest, but I'm just saying I don't do it and explaining my reasons, to be honest, because I can't see any. If you did do it, I can't see any harm in it. But I think it's too much effort for something which could be not really true. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about attack style switching. Next subject is don't stake anyone higher than you. Like if you do make a stake in pure, I'm combat level 93. Now if someone was a stake in pure and they was like level 96, I'll be very, very hesitant as to stake them. I have done it before, and I have beat people. It's purely from the fact that because I have high HP, and I rely on my account. But here's what some people do, and here's what I have done in the past, and it has cost me dearly. It really has. You're sitting there at Duel Arena on your staking pure, and the thing about staking pures is there is not a lot of them. So you might go 2-3 hours at Duel Arena and not find a single soul to stake. You might not find anyone to stake at all. No one will stake here. There's no one on your levels, and you think, oh, this is getting fucking. But I just want to stake someone. I want to win something. Now I'm level 93. If you see a level 96 or 97 standing next to you saying boxing 10 mil, you know how tempting it is to think, oh, there's no one here. Right, let's just fucking stake him. Because you're so fed up, you're so bored, there's no one there, you don't care about that extra free combat levels, you just want to stake him. Please, 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 please do not do that, because I've done it before and it's very regrettable, because you'll think, yeah, let's fucking stake him, there's no one else around, there's no one else, you'll stake him, you'll lose that money and you'll feel like shit, because there's no one around, there's no one to stake, you've tried to stake someone, the only person you could find has smashed your face in because they're so much higher than you. Don't do it, because you've just got to resist temptation. Now, here's the theory of what I find helps me kind of through this. If I am sitting there at Duel Arena for hours on end and I don't find absolutely anyone, think to yourself, it only takes one person for you to win a lot off. So let's say I'm sitting there for 6 hours at the Duel Arena, nothing's come up, I'm just like bored out of my skin, just about to leave or something. Oh, someone walks in and comes up and stakes me. Puts in, I don't know, 50 million a stake in the screen. I put 50 million, I beat him. He goes away or something. I've just won 50 mil, right? Now, I've won 50 mil within that probably about 2 minutes. But if you look at it like this, someone has just sat there trying to skill and make money for 6 hours. Like, let's say woodcutting. They've been woodcutting for 6 hours and they've made, I don't know, 2 mil or something. So they've made 2 mil in 6 hours. You've just made 50 mil in 6 hours. It might have taken you 6 hours of waiting and just 2 minutes of staking, but you've made 50 mil in 6 hours. That is fucking impressive. So you've just got to think to yourself, just wait. Please just wait, because that only takes one person to win something off for your whole day to pay out. So don't get impatient. Really don't get impatient with staking. Just be patient, be calm, and just wait for the right person to come along. Do not stake just anyone because you're bored or fed up. Now, here's an important one to touch on. Always look people up. No matter how hard the name is, how confusing it looks, or whatever, always try to look them up. Don't just think, oh, they're the same combat as me, yeah, let's go with it. Only if you're 100% confident about your stats. Here's an important fact about names. You might see it very, very often. Is people use names. This is like going way back in old PKing days. People used to have names of like I-O-0-0-I-O-L-O. It just looks. You take one look at it and you think, fuck looking that up, because it's just so weird. Like, you kind of think, how do people log in with stuff like that? Confusing names. If you're going to stake, have a confusing name. Really do. If you go down the route of having a name like I, 1L, LLI, 1L, and all in capitals, non-capitals, whatever, so it is confusing to look up, but it is still doable. Don't have that kind of name. It's stupid. They always find you. You always get looked up. I've never, ever probably accidentally looked at a name like that and looked up a wrong person, because you can find it out so easy nowadays. What you have to do is exactly what I've done, right? And you have to be logical about it. What I've done is I've gotten a name, right, that in capitals in capital letters, it looks like an actual, like if you look at my name here, right now, as you can see, my name is Too Rich Bro. Now, if you were to first glance at this, because it makes sense, Too Rich Bro, you say it to yourself in your head. You say, Too Rich Bro. Yeah, right, I know that. And then you go straight away and you look up Too Rich Bro. Now, you don't probably realise, some people do, and some people don't, this rich here, it's not actually an I, it's an RLCH. Everything is in capitals apart from the L. So if I put everything not in capitals, that's what my name actually is. 2RLCH Bro. But if I put everything in capitals apart from the L, wait, let me type it out here. Now I'll do it in capitals. Now non-capital L. Now can you see how that looks like it? Now if I do this in capitals with an I, it looks very, very similar. At first glance, you might just look at that and think, yeah, that's just Too Rich Bro, because you say it to yourself in your head. Let's say you had a name like, I don't know, Football L023. No, LO23. Now, this makes no sense because you can't say it to yourself in your head. If you look at that, you say, right, football, what's that? And you question yourself of what that is. You think, right, that must be an L, and then an O, and a 2, and a 3. Now, you have to squint and look at that because it's not something that rolls off the end of your tongue. You look at this and you know what it says. It looks like clear words and it means something. Too Rich Bro. Now, when it finishes on something bro, you then kind of forget about the middle word. You have to think logically about your name. Now, you typically say that to yourself, Too Rich Bro. Now this, Football I-O-2-3. Now, you'd question yourself, why is it an I or something? And you just look more in depth because it didn't roll off your tongue enough to simply look up. Also, what I've done is, you can see my stats on the high score right here. These are my stats. Now, if I actually look up Too Rich Bro, which is what people think my name is, it actually comes up with Staker's stats. Now, let's say you copy a name which is completely shit. Like the reason I've done this is to trick people. If they instantly look up Too Rich Bro, oh, it comes up as Staker's stats. Yeah, I must have got the stats right. You don't question that you've not got the name right because someone's stats has come up, which is a staker. So it looks real, it looks authentic, because you've just looked up a staker, which is right in front of you. You would not question twice at that name. Now, I've done this before where I had a name which I've copied someone's name, but had the same technique of using the I and the L as non-capitals and stuff, but I copied just a random account. Now, let's say I copied a name like this, Horror Pooch or something. It's just standing next to me in Duel Arena. Let's say I copied this account. Obviously, he's level 77, but this is just an example of someone with just random stats, right? If I'm standing there in Duel Arena saying, staking 10 mil, boxing 10 mil, if someone tries to look up my name, and I've tricked them and done like a 0 here, and they haven't noticed, and they've actually looked up Horror Pooch, and they think, right, what's his stats of this? What the fuck? He's got just random stats. Then you'd think, why is this person staking 10 mil? Which would then make you question the name again. You'd be like, oh, let's have a look at the name. Ah, I see. Then you'd change the name, and then you'd get the actual stats. So don't give yourself away and change your name to something which someone might be tricked into looking someone else up, which is shit, because it makes them question it again. Because then they think, why is someone of that level staking so low? Now, this is why I've copied the name of a staker, but this staker that I have copied is 88 combat and I'm 93. So anyone my level that's a staker that accidentally looks me up will probably think, yeah, he's a staker, and he might have just got a little bit of prayer on summoning by accident, which means his stats are shit. So they wouldn't question twice at looking me up. Lastly, the last thing I'm going to mention is just generally about the stats of what you want your staking pure to be. you want to use Soul Wars because basically you want to get high HP as a boxing staking pure. If you want to go and do ranging or something, or maging, or anything like that, mage boxing or armor fighting or summoning, you arrange your stats around that. But if you want stats for a melee boxer, you must get high HP. Don't be a fucking div and just get plain stats like 80 attack, strength, defense, HP with no prayer or anything, because you're shit if you have them stats. Seriously, you have to prioritize in something. With melee boxing, don't get strength. Strength it's good, yeah, it really is, but there's 3 things out there which are better than it: attack, defense, and HP. Strength isn't needed a lot. You need a little bit of it because you need quite an average high hit. That's why I think around 60 to 70 strength is like a must. You must have that, right, if you're going to be around this combat. Now, high HP, you have to have high HP if you're going to box. There's no two ways about it. If you want to be successful, you have high HP. If you're going to sit there and be 70 attack, 70 strength, 99 defense, like fucking, you've gone for it all on defense, but you're about 80 to 85 HP, you're going to be shit. You're going to be absolutely bollocks. I can tell you that now, because your 99 defense can get hit through like it's nothing. As I've said before, RuneScape is RNG. It means random number generator. Now, if you're 99 defense, you're going to stand a higher chance of not getting hit, but you're relying on the system that works. If that then fails, and you get one of your bad games or something, your 99 defense is just going to get hit like someone with 1 defense. So, you're relying on something if you go for like a high stat like that. Now, as I've said before, if you go for high HP, right, you're not relying on the system. It's always there. It really is. If you've got 97 health like me, every single fight I go through, they have to hit 970 by the time I hit their, I don't know, 820, let's say that 82 HP, and I'm 97. They have to hit 150 more than what I do. And there's no two ways about it. You're not relying on any system there. That is guaranteed every single fight. Now, 99 defense, it can work tremendously in some fights. Some fights you can't get hit bugger all. Some fights you can get smashed, and you can get completely ruined. And you kind of question yourself, like, oh, fuck it, 99 defense, what's the point in that? Everyone's had that kind of feeling. But I've never, ever, ever had that feeling with HP. Because it's always there. And boxing, you're not going to hit 300 in boxing, are you? You're going to hit low numbers. And how many zeros do you hit in a boxing fight? Let's say, in a boxing fight, you'd roughly hit around 10 zeros. Now, if it took someone to hit 5 zeros, like let's say I was fighting that person with 82 HP and I got 97, he has to hit 150 of my HP before I match his HP, and then the game starts. Let's say he hits 0, 0, 80, 0, 0, 30, 0, 0, 40. Now, I don't know, he's probably hit about 8 times there to then get my HP the same as his. So he's had to waste 8 hits to get for the match to basically start, because my HP is much bigger than his. Now, if he then does them 8 hits or whatever, and now I'm 82 HP, and so is he, there we go, the game starts and we're both even. Now it's a 50-50 chance. But you've got to remember, he's hit me 8 times. That means I've hit him 8 times, which means I've probably cleared out some of his health as well. Therefore, it's not a seesaw or anything. It's still gone down the same rate. So he's probably hit me 150. Who knows? I might have hit him 250. Therefore, the gap's been increased even more. HP always comes into effect. It never fails. It's always there, and you're not relying on something. It's always there. And a lot of people don't like staking me. Once they stake me a few times, they don't like doing it again because they know how effective it is. Yes, the one setback with HP, as it takes a flipping long time to do. You got to sit in Soul Wars like a nub and sit there and fucking just train, and it's a drag, it really is, but it pays off. I've probably had about 30 stakes so far. I've probably lost about 7, I'd say, probably about 6 or 7. I've been staking people higher than me in that. It's just HP. You really have to think about it. There's not a lot of staking pures out there that do what I do. And even if you're a range staker, get high HP, because all you're relying on in that fight is just range and HP and defense possibly. But if you're naked range boxing, then it doesn't really come into effect too much. You really have to think about these kind of things. You have to think logically about what happens in the arena, what comes into effect, what is going to happen when the duel starts. You're going to have to get them from their max HP to 0. That is one basic rule. So why don't you max out that? Really think about it. Just think about it. And on that note, I'm just going to end the video there. I know it's been really long, but I hope you've enjoyed the tips and whatever. I hope this has inspired maybe some of you to make a staker. But please, if you send me a message saying that I got fucking cleaned, I hate you, Ryan, for making me go and stake, whatever. Sorry, it's not my fault. I've explained here the best tips to actually make money, not the best tips to lose it. You can lose it with some of the stuff I said, but obviously I'm not going to take responsibility if you get clean. I'm sorry about that, but anyway, on that note, I'm going to end the video, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be making more updates about my staker soon. So thank you very much, and bye.